What my boss whispered at the office party left me in shock. You won't believe what happened. The atmosphere thrummed with animated discussions, the gentle clinking of glasses harmonizing with the soothing strains of jazz that floated through the air. The annual office holiday party buzzed with energy, and for the first time in years, I permitted myself to unwind just a bit. At 49, immersed in the world of corporate finance, I had consistently maintained a respectful distance from the swirling currents of office gossip and the light-hearted exchanges in the break room. Yet this evening carried an air of distinction. Perhaps it was the shimmering glow of the golden fairy lights dancing upon the windows, or perhaps it was the champagne gently loosening my customary restraint. Adorned in an emerald green dress, a striking contrast to my typical business attire, I meandered through the room. Many of my colleagues were absorbed in lively discussions, chuckling over shared jokes or exchanging their holiday itineraries. It was at that moment that my gaze fell upon him. Ethan Morganer, my manager, a figure of quiet authority and grace. With a stature that loomed and an air of grace, he possessed an innate ability to draw the gaze of those around him, all without the slightest effort. At 56, Daniel exuded a genuine confidence that made everyone around him feel acknowledged and valued. Despite nearly a decade of collaboration, our connection had always adhered to the boundaries of professionalism. It was unexpected when Daniel locked eyes with me and began to approach. "Are you having a good time?" he inquired, his tone effortlessly relaxed. With a smile, I raised my glass high. "I never imagined you were someone who enjoyed office parties either." He let out a soft chuckle, raising his glass to his lips. "Indeed, you are correct. I typically make my entrance and quietly depart before anyone becomes aware of my presence. Yet, this year carries a distinct essence." I inclined my head, intrigued. "In what way is it different?" Daniel paused for a moment, then leaned in just a bit, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. "I have something I've been wanting to share with you." My eyes widened in astonishment. What could it possibly be? He offered a gentle smile. "This is not the place." Before I could utter another syllable, a voice rang out, summoning him away, and in an instant, he vanished, leaving me rooted in place, echoing his words in a relentless loop within my thoughts. As the evening unfolded, each fleeting glance exchanged across the room intensified the silent tension that lingered between us. As I reached for my coat, preparing to depart, a soft hand brushed against my elbow. I turned, and there he was, Daniel. "Do you have a moment?" he inquired. After a moment of uncertainty, I gave a slight nod. He guided me onto the balcony. The frigid December air nipped at my skin, yet I hardly paid it any mind. "I didn't intend to be vague earlier," he said, his tone now more gentle. "I merely sought to discover the perfect moment." I embraced myself tightly, feeling my heart race within my chest. "I am all ears," I replied. Daniel swept his fingers through his graying hair, releasing a deep breath as he collected his thoughts. Then he gazed at me, his eyes filled with unexpected sincerity. "For years, I have held you in high regard. Not merely your creations, but you, in essence. Your demeanor, the manner in which you navigate each situation with remarkable poise." I remained silent, believing it was not my role to speak up. The city lights twinkled like distant stars beyond the balcony, yet my attention was wholly captivated by the figure before me. "Daniel," I faltered, at a loss for words. "You needn't utter a word," he interjected softly. "I simply wanted you to be aware." In that instant, everything transformed. I lingered in the biting cold of winter, yet the only sensation that enveloped me was the comforting warmth of his words. Ethan Morganer, someone I had long respected and quietly admired, had just unveiled that he perceived me as more than merely an employee. "I'm not sure I ever permitted myself to ponder this," I confessed. He offered a wistful smile. "I comprehend." A brisk breeze danced through the balcony, sending a shiver down my spine. Without a second thought, Daniel offered his coat to shield me from the cold, a simple, considerate gesture. "I wish to avoid adding any complexity to your life," he murmured softly. "I don't expect anything in return." I just couldn't stay silent anymore. Our eyes locked. I sought a flicker of doubt, yet discovered only unwavering sincerity. A smile crept across my face, unbidden. I believe I would like to uncover the significance of this. A glimmer of relief and hope danced in his eyes. Then let us discover, he whispered. Before either of us had the chance to utter another word, the balcony doors burst open. Rachel Brooks, A. Senior manager, glanced out with a tipsy grin. At last, there you two are. We are on the brink of commencing the toast. It simply wouldn't do to have the boss absent for his speech. We re-entered the gathering as though the world outside had ceased to exist. Yet, in the space that lay between us, everything had transformed. As Daniel lifted his glass to deliver the toast, I observed him, truly observed him for the first time. As his gaze flickered toward me, momentarily crossing the threshold of our shared space, I understood. The words he spoke were not merely intended for the audience. It was also for me. Overcome by a wave of emotions, I quietly retreated, making my way to the serene hallway near the coat check. I rested against the wall, inhaling slowly and deeply. It was at that moment that Daniel rediscovered me. "Are you contemplating a little escape?" he teased softly. A breathless laugh escaped my lips. "Perhaps." He advanced, his gaze probing into my own. "Have I added complexity to your situation?" I paused to reflect. "I remain uncertain at this moment." "I meant what I said," he whispered softly. "I don't expect anything in return. I just couldn't stay silent anymore." His honesty awakened a profound feeling inside me. "I don't either," I murmured in response. I began to walk away, yet he extended his hand and gently took mine in a quiet, reassuring gesture. "May I call you tomorrow?" he inquired, his voice scarcely rising above a whisper. After a brief pause, I gave a nod of agreement. "All right." I exited the building, my heart racing, the cool night air biting at my cheeks, yet, paradoxically, I felt more unburdened than I had in years. The following morning, I found myself wandering through my apartment, replaying each moment of the previous night in my mind. As my phone vibrated at last, a flutter of excitement coursed through me. It was Daniel. I replied, my voice wavering. "Greetings?" His voice exuded warmth and steadiness. "I had my doubts that you would answer." "I wasn't either," I confessed, a smile spreading across my face. Following a brief, cozy pause, he began to speak once more. "I wish to avoid imposing any pressure on you. Would you care to join me for dinner this evening? A tranquil place. No office. No titles. Just us." For just a fleeting moment, I paused. That sounds appealing. That evening, I discovered a charming little restaurant nestled in the heart of the city. The soft glow of candlelight danced upon the pristine white tablecloths, while the gentle murmur of hushed conversations enveloped us. Daniel rose to welcome me. "You arrived," he remarked, a trace of relief coloring his tone. "I did," I replied with a smile. As the night deepened, our conversation flowed, drifting away from work, evading deadlines, and instead meandered through life, explored dreams, and reveled in the little moments that brought us joy. In each passing moment, I sensed a gradual unfolding within me, a vulnerability I hadn't permitted myself to embrace in years. As we emerged into the crisp embrace of the night, Daniel paused, uncertainty flickering in his eyes. "I understand this is unfamiliar. I prefer to take my time with everything. Yet, I cannot feign ignorance to the reality unfolding before me." I pivoted to meet his gaze, my heart unwavering. "I feel the same way." In his gaze, I perceived not merely admiration, but a glimmer of hope. As he extended his hand, offering a quiet, reassuring touch, a revelation washed over me. Occasionally, the most unforeseen instances in life are not merely astonishing, they are precisely what we have yearned for all this time.